Hey you, it's Jess here, and today we are sticker memory planning in my Caress Press Inserts A5 wide size, and we are using the Caress Press kit called what was it? Lakeside Picnic. I've got it right here for the week of April 7th through the 13th. So this is the week after my partner's birthday. That would be the last plan with me that went up in the channel if you want to catch up and you haven't watched it yet. But yeah, so I paired this off with a confetti foil bundle from Scribble Prints Co. and it is purple. I think this is Wisteria, and this is the newer version of it, which had hole reinforcers and things, so it was really nice to use like a full set in here. I just used the hole reinforcers, the bottom washi bow, the bougie boxes, the date numbers, the full box overlays, and also the icons and scripts throughout my daily planning. And we are color blocking to match the date covers across the top from Caress Press, and it just turned out really pretty. It felt very like, I feel like April is very purple. Obviously the current Erin Condren colors are purple, but originally it was purple and teal, which I loved. And this is like a purple and green, so it works really well, I think. Still have those associations after all these years from when I started at the end of 2015. So yeah, so I think the base came out really cute, just my usual base. Yeah, nothing too different for Caress Press. My Caress Press stuff, I do use a paper trimmer to do the bottom washi in half so I can get a nice clean straight line. And I also chop up I get the full like ultimate kit with the full heart checklist, because I do like to have a little checklist in my sidebar. Scribble Prints Co has in her format, she has a little 3 checklist, which I always use. But for Caress Press, I just chop down for one of the heart checklists for 2, and it still fits nicely in my sidebar that I like to do. But yeah, otherwise this is pretty normal. You probably don't have to see this whole base super in depth, so let's get into the day-by-day planning. It'll be a lot more fun. We can hang out, go through this week. It was still very, very wintry. All my kits now are very springy, but it's still basically, what is today? It is the 12th of May, and we're finally in spring. We have sunshine. We're above 10 degrees Celsius. Well, we're at 10 degrees Celsius, so we're finally actually getting into spring here in Helsinki, but it takes a while. So April was still pretty cold, and we had some snow throughout April as well. But yeah, my planner doesn't have to be exact. I just like to go with vibes. So my sidebar here, I have the audiobook I was listening to this week, which was God Killer by Hannah Kaner, which I really enjoyed. I have the second book on Audible too, audiobook, so I need to get on that, I think next month. And then I just have my 2 little to-do lists, working on my shop set, which was Romance Fan, which came out this week. That was my romance book genre set, and then I did some journaling as well. So let's get into Monday, and if you've been here with me, you know what we're doing. We're putting Coffee Monday in straight up, because it's just a nice little Monday ritual. See, I want to put this in. So we have Coffee Monday, I did some laundry, and for lunch we got Phaser Cafe, which is like, Phaser is like a chocolate company, but they have cafes, so they also have, Phaser makes everything, not just chocolate. They also make like baked goods and breads and oats and, I don't know. Phaser's everything here in Finland. But we got Phaser Cafe, and we got quiches and cake for lunch. So that was the first part of Monday. Obviously, I didn't do any work on Monday. We were just sort of chilling. So what I did do was I went also to the chemist and refilled my prescription. And then I did some cleaning. Let me put in my bottom thing here for my book that I was reading before bed, because I do an audiobook and I do a physical or digital book before bed. So it helps me go to sleep on time. So we went to the chemist and refilled my prescription, which I have to do once a month. Then I did some cleaning in the apartment. And we were still watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think this week we actually finish it. Our rewatch. Well, at this point we were in the, I think we rewatched like the first 5 seasons and then the next 2. I think we actually started watching it when it went to Fox. Or it changed networks. I don't know. But the end of Brooklyn Nine-Nine was new to us. So we were interested to see what that was about. And then I was reading my physical book, which was Watermoon, which, what's her name? Apologies, I think it's Samantha Soto-Yombao, but that was like, a big book release so far this year, Watermoon. I initially gave it 3.5, like in my journal and everything, but I feel like it's more of a 3 to 2.5 book on, I'm thinking back on it, but that's okay. It's fine. Can't do it right every time. As things sit in your mind, like things, your opinions sort of change, and which is a good thing. So then on Tuesday, I did some more laundry. I cleaned some clothes, and then I was working on the shop set and listening to Godkiller on Audible. I enjoyed Godkiller. I enjoyed the world and everything. And I was just thinking the other day, I'm pretty sure there was a specific inspiration or reference or inspiration from the I'm pretty sure it was Godkiller. I was like, oh wait, a book I was reading totally did a inspiration from The Last Unicorn by Peter Spiegel. But I couldn't remember exact book, and I think it was Godkiller because there was a talking skeleton and they give it a drink and he drinks it even though he's a skeleton. I'm pretty sure that's this book. And I was like, oh, because there's a talking skeleton who drinks wine in The Last Unicorn. And I just thought that was a cool little reference because the movie and the book are some of my all-time favorites. So I enjoyed that. And then after working, I was doing my stuff in Infinity Nikki, working on my dailies and things. And then we were still watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think I'm going to use a normal one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then of course I was still reading Watermoon this week. So put those in. But yeah, I thought it was a cool reference. I did enjoy Godkiller is what I was saying. I really enjoyed the world and the story. But I thought it was kind of odd. Maybe it's because it was on audiobook, but even audiobooks, I get emotionally connected to characters. So I didn't feel very emotionally invested in the characters. And maybe it'll change in the second book. I liked it enough to continue on, but yeah, I didn't feel very emotionally connected to the characters very much. That was my only downside of the book. Okay, then we'll get into Wednesday, into the purple days. So pretty. So first we're going to start off that I did a bunch of work this day. Needed to get going and finish up this this set for release on Thursday. So did that. Again, we were listening to Godkiller while working, and then we actually finished watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We watched the whole show on this day, and I thought it was a cute ending. There was definitely a disconnect in the last season with everything that happened in 2020 with Black Lives Matter and cop violence and stuff, which still continues to this day. So I know that I remember back then they said they wanted to address these things in the show, and I feel like they did, and it was okay. I was happy with it. Well, it's not my opinion to be happy with it or not, but I think it went off. It finished on its own, in a good way. And it was enjoyable ending. The ending kind of reminded me a little bit of Superstore, but I was way more into Superstore. I love Superstore so much. So, but yeah, I still think the show ended well. Like, it went out in the way that it wanted to, which I think is good. And honestly, I do really enjoy Andy Samberg. So sometimes I'm like, wait, am I kind of Andy Samberg's? Like, well, am I kind of like Jake sometimes? I'm like, Jake is very ADHD coded. So anyway, so after that, we had easy pasta for dinner because we were being, you know, sometimes you're like, I don't really want to cook a meal. So we just have like pasta and pre-made pasta sauces in the cupboard, so we can just have a nice, easy, simple pasta dinner. Here we go. And then I played some more Infinity Nikki. We were getting close to a couple of weeks, and we'll get into like the new update with Infinity Nikki, which was incredibly controversial if you've seen anything around that, but I probably won't be getting into it. We'll talk about when the actual update in the Plan With Me happens, but yeah, so pasta, and then I was still reading Watermoon. Oh yeah, for this Plan With Me, I'm trying to write bigger because I think my handwriting is just nicer when it's bigger. I feel like I have way more control. Like when I try to write too small, which I have for a long time, I feel like I get my hand cramps and feels bad. So I'm trying to write a little bit bigger and giving myself that grace in this planner. But I know that I'll never have like perfect handwriting. And I feel like it's always, grass is always greener on the other side. Like everyone apart from me has better handwriting, it feels like. So yeah, I'm liking the way it's looking so far. But that is the first half of the week. As you could tell though, I didn't really have any matching, like I didn't have a lot of matching doodles for terms of pinks, in terms of purples and especially greens, but I just made do. It still works because there's still like various degrees of green within the artwork itself. So then on Thursday, we did some morning work just to finish up the set. I think I just had to do some last little bits of like I had to do I think I can fit 2 fancy labels in here. I had to do the last bits of elements, like flat lay elements, and then the papers, and then we did the listings, and we got that set up for the day. Romance fan, which seemed pretty popular actually. I know some people are tired of the book genre. Kids, I don't know. It's hard not just to like, you know, things that sell you want to do because nothing is selling right now otherwise. So what you can get to sell is really nice. I'll be honest with you. It's a struggle out there. It's a struggle. Now I put in here that I wasn't going to put in Infinity Nikki, but I feel like I have space. Let's put in the last fancy label at the bottom here for the book. Oh yeah, I think we can add Nikki in on a little thing. I think that'll be alright. Oh, I like how this turned out with the like solid pattern. So this day I also finished up God Killer, which was good. And then we also watched the new episode of Wheel of Time. I also finished the book Watermoon, so I finished 2 books this day, and then we'll put in a leftover sticker for Nikki. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to fit it in with what I had here, but all the stickers pretty much worked out. Oh, I just realized I have a Wheel of Time script sticker as well. I literally just did all the sticker pulling for this. I sat down, I'm like, okay, I gotta film this Plan With Me to go up today, and then I was like, oh crud, I never pulled the stickers. So I've very quickly just pulled all the stickers, you know, well not very quickly, but you know. Sometimes you just forget. Alright, I actually feel like I get this a lot where I finish my audiobook and my other book on the same day. And I also found that like, so far. Let me have a look. I'll show you my reading journal. So far this last month, so every single month on the 15th, I've finished a book. Isn't that crazy? Oh, it's the 12th, so maybe I have to update this for May. Sorry, I haven't been reading every single day in May, so it's been harder to fill it in. But it's all in my journal, so my planner. Sorry, so I can fill that in a minute. But I'm gonna try and see if I can finish my current book on the 15th, so I can keep my streak going. You know, I just noticed that. I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, the 15th is just a good day to finish a book, I guess. Because this was on the 10th, but you know, just saying. I noticed that and I was like, what the? Alright, so Friday, we had a day off because, you know, we finished the set the day before. And it's nice to give yourself a little break. So I played some Infinity Nikki. I put on my new audiobook, which was A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. And then we also watched the new episode. Oh, this is the last episode of The Pit. So good. But you know, now we're caught up. Now you don't have to listen to me like try and gush about The Pit every single plan with me, because now we finished it. But it was so good. I'm so glad we have another season coming. It's coming in January. So it's going to be like a yearly show, which I'm so excited about. And you know, it had 15 episodes, so excellent TV. Loved The Pit. And I really loved the last episode. It was really well done. So yeah, started A Drop of Corruption and finished The Pit. Alright, so then I have a bunch of little things to do. So we got noodle story for dinner. Just delicious cheap noodles. Let me put in my fancy label at the end of the day. Noodle story dinner. I want to get some non-patent here for a second. Sorry, noodle story, and then we watched the new episode of The Righteous Gemstones. I did some journaling, and then I started an ebook, which is another book. So April was the month of the Magical Readathon, so I was reading my books specifically to complete my characters class list. I went through this on my last vlog, but so I started reading Witches Steeped in Gold by Sienna Smart. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave that 2 stars. I didn't love it. It was kind of a mess. But yeah, I read it. And I enjoyed the parts of it because it was supposed to be like a Jamaican-inspired fantasy. And I really enjoyed that kind of part of it. But I also read some reviews saying the Jamaican parts were not that accurate. So I don't know. But yeah. This is when I started that book. Okay, I messed up writing that up altogether. Like with this says. So I wanted to use the last pattern box, but oh well. At least I still have one more solid fancy label, and we could try writing that again. This is not an easy book title to write in. But I will say it's called Witches Steeped in Gold because it's like they are witch people. Like I think they're like inherently a type of people, different kinds of people who are different kinds of witches, but they use gold as a conduit to do their magic. I don't know. It's not well explained, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I got most of it. It was fine. Anyway. Then on Saturday, I did some binge watching of YouTube, and then I played some Infinity Nikki while also listening. I was doing some, normal stuff that I don't really, some routine things in Infinity Nikki, collecting bling and stuff. So I was able to listen to more of my new audiobook, which was A Drop of Corruption. And obviously binging YouTube. So we're having a chill Saturday. So, and then I do want to put this last fancy label at the bottom. That's weird. Oh, why did I do that? I picked out audiobook stickers for my, instead of Kindle stickers. Whoops. Let me put these here to the side and we'll pick. So this is what happens when I'm hurrying. I need to get some Kindle stickers out for the bottom part here. Anyway, what do I have left? I don't have a lot of stuff in this green. It's kind of random. We'll use this curved one, I guess. And then I guess we'll just use a little thing. Weirdly, I really ran out of stickers for this day. That's so odd. Anyway, so this big sticker now is, I'm going to center that a bit better. This big sticker now is for making honey soy garlic chicken in the slow cooker. And then we started rewatching the show Angie Tribeca, which is a really good, well, it's like a comedy cop show as well, but it's like in the vein of if you've watched Airplane or Naked Gun or Hot Shots or, you know, those kinds of, that kind of humor, like very slapstick, very visual humor. Andrew Tribeca is like based on that humor, and it's really, really good, especially the first couple of seasons. We watched the last season for the first time and it wasn't as good, but yeah, highly recommend Andrew Tribeca if you're looking for, it's not really a Brooklyn Nine-Nine replacement, but it is a comedy cop show, but it's a way more silly, you know, like Leslie Nielsen and all that kind of style of humor. If you liked those back in the day, it's not as popular, but it was actually created by Steve Carell, the show Andrew Tribeca. Steve Carell, and it stars Rashida Jones, who is really great in it. I love Rashida. So yeah, definitely check out Andrew Tribeca if you haven't already and you're looking for that kind of show. And then again, I was just reading Witches Steeped in Gold. I'm just going to write witches from now on for that book. But yeah, I put these stickers for Witches Steeped in Gold when I meant to do Kindle. My brain. And then again, I just messed up chicken as well. I put CKHN. Oh my god. I'm a mess today. It's Monday morning. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, I don't have enough stickers in this color to replace that, so we're going to move on. We're moving on. Okay, so Sunday, I did some filming. We have a bunch of this. The Sunday color is a little odd. It's like in the pattern because it's just white. But, you know, we'll make do. So I did a bunch of filming on that morning. Obviously, I think this is when I was trying to get back to my YouTube bin stuff. So I did some filming. I put some new nails on and we watched Andrew Tribeca. Just a typical Sunday. And then, you know how last week it was Locke's birthday. Oh dear. I haven't put enough. Oh, right. I put away the Audible sticker. So I do I have the right green in here anymore? Have I used up all that green? Yes. I need more Kindle stickers. I'll just use this green. Alright. So let me write in Andrew Tribeca. Okay. And then, you know how last week it was Locke's birthday, and well, I baked a really delicious chocolate cake, and I put the recipe in the birthday week. I have plenty of room here too, so I'm just gonna put in this, and we'll change that up. But anyway, yeah, a really delicious chocolate cake, and I put it into the recipe in my last plan with me for the birthday week. But we're like, you know what? That cake was so dang good, and I still kind of want cake. Sure, I baked another cake, like legit the same cake. Don't judge us, okay? We haven't had cake since, okay? We were in a cake mood, and the cake was so good. And I think this one was actually even better because I put less sugar than the other one. Like, I ran out basically of powdered sugar for the frosting, so we had a lot less sugar in the frosting, and it was so good because it was cream cheese frosting, so it still had the cream cheese in there. It wasn't like all butter. So yeah, I baked another cake, and we had more chocolate cake, but you know, sometimes you just gotta live life, you know, YOLO and stuff. And then we had hot dogs for dinner, which are like the British version of hot dogs. And then again, reading Witches Steeped in Gold before bed. All right, and that is the finished week altogether. So let's actually, I don't think I'm going to put any deco bits on the spread. I think it looks pretty enough. But let's get it into the binder, the planner, and have a look at both pages together. Looking so pretty and purple. There we go. I do love the purple foil with this. It just, because there is a lot of green in the color blocking, this really brought more of the purple out. And it's so pretty. What a lovely little week. A chill week, you know, we got a set done, we got the set released, we got some laundry done, played a lot of video games, finished some books, started some books, finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and started rewatching a different show. But yeah, so definitely check out Andrew Tribeca if it sounds good to you. You want a comedy cop show. It's like way more comedy and silly than say Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's not really like a sitcom in that way, but there is like overarching story. And yeah, it's just really funny, especially if you love that old slapstick humor. My rings are kind of like, get back together, please. But anyway, that is this finished week. I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Maybe some purple hearts down below or some flowers for the picnic vibes. Hopefully spring is starting well for you as well. Hopefully spring is starting for you nicely. Anyway, you get what I mean. Have you read any of these books? Let me know. Or watch these TV shows. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I should have 2 more Plan With Me's up this week on Wednesday and Friday, and we'll be getting closer to getting caught up. That will have April finished, so that'll be really good. We're getting closer. But then we should also have I'll have a haul and choosing my June kits, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, so plenty of stuff to come on the channel. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.